Does Bill Belichick belong in this list?
I went back and forth on this one because he hasn't coached in a game yet. We haven't seen the product. It's a big gamble, but maybe that's what you had to pay him to get him to come there. Dan Lanning has announced he got, kind of a new contract, $11 million per year, which you would think, wow, $11 million per year. You got to be the highest paid coach in college football. Nope. Not even really close, to be honest with you. That brings him up to number 4. So we decided to tell you the top 10 highest paid coaches in college football and whether we think they're worth that amount of money or who should trade up, who should be making more money than the other guy. So happy for Dan. He's earned it. Oregon's got to do something now in the postseason, but they are obviously trending in a really good direction. So I want to go through this top 10 first and tell you the numbers and then get into who we think deserves it, who we think is kind of getting overpaid. So there is a tie at number 10 for $9 million a year. You look at Eli Drinkwitz from Missouri. Mark Stoops at Kentucky is now getting $9 million a year. Brian Kelly is the 9th highest paid coach at LSU, $9.9 million a year. Bill Belichick at North Carolina at number 8, he's getting $10 million a year. Kalen DeBoer at Alabama is 7th at $10.25 million a year. Lincoln Riley at USC is at $10.1. Sark at Texas is at $10.8. He's at 5. Dan Lanning, now 4, as I mentioned, at 11. Dabo Swinney at number 3 at $11.5 million. Ryan Day at Ohio State, $12.5 million. And Kirby Smart, $13.2 million, topping the list at Georgia. Flaming Dragon, give me one guy, all right? And you don't have to do the guys that are tied for 10 if you don't want, even though I'm going to. Give me one guy outside of number 10 that you think is overpaid as it stands right now.
It's a tough question. I'm gonna go with Lincoln Riley.
Okay.
I think Lincoln Riley's one of the best in the country when it comes from a play calling standpoint, being creative schematically on offense. But you're not an offensive coordinator. You're a head coach.
Yeah.
And I feel like what he's done from Oklahoma to USC, he's been trending down since then. They haven't had a great season. They haven't won really important games. You can say that LSU win was somewhat nice to see. But Lincoln Riley his stock has gone down since he left Oklahoma, and he hasn't earned the money he's getting paid right now from USC. USC doesn't seem like they're getting better. It seems like they're just sitting here. They're not rising. They're not falling. And to make $10.1 million a year, you have to do more than that to me if you're Lincoln Riley and you're going to be a top 10 paid coach.
I agree with you. And from this standpoint, now, a couple years ago when they just hired Lincoln Riley before his first season, I think that's earned. But after what we've seen at USC, and you mentioned them trending down, now they're recruiting their ass off, all right? And Lincoln Riley, I know he knows what he's doing on the offensive side of the ball, but to your point, I think you're exactly right. I think he's overpaid right now. I think the fact that he's right there with Sark is almost laughable. I'm going to go 7. I'm going to say Kalen DeBoer.
Has he had enough time, though?
I'm just, at Bama, I hold Bama in a higher regard than everybody else. And it's not like you inherited the Sisters of the Perpetual Poor. You had Jalen Milroe. You had these pieces. You got Ryan Williams ended up sticking with you. I think he underachieved, and I'm almost projecting this one. I think he's going to continue to underachieve. So sitting there at $10.25 million, I think right now he is overpaid, even after 1 year, and then looking into the future for what he's going to get at Alabama. I'm going to give you another one. Dabo Swinney. Now, we'll see with Clemson this year. We'll see. I feel like they're paying Dabo for what he did. For what he did, not what he is doing. Yes, you snuck in the college football playoff. All right, we saw that. You got, kind of a gift, obviously, there in the first round. But at the end of the day, Clemson hasn't done what they've done. They haven't been as championship relevant as they were when he was earning that money. Now, again, that doesn't mean he can't prove me wrong this year. I think Cade Klubnik's got a chance to win the Heisman. I think he's a pretty good bet.
Bring him back a lot.
I think Clemson's going to be damn good, even though they lost some pieces on defense. But 3, you're in front of Sark and what he's done at Texas already, getting within a sniff of the Natty,
But what has Sark won at Texas?
Well, you went to the SEC championship.
Going year. I mean, that's great. Going, but winning is different.
Well, it is. But again, he's revived Texas. Texas wasn't doing this. Texas wasn't doing this in the postseason. He revived Texas, which is harder than anything. And the expectations there are immensely high. So I think Sark at 5 is not that he's underpaid, but I think he could find himself in the top 3 pretty quickly. We'll see with Arch Manning, though. I'm not big on Texas this year, as big as everybody else is. You want to be in good shape from a health standpoint, too. And in order to do that, you got to know how your body works. A lot of us don't know how our metabolism, whether it's working properly or really how it works at all. That's where our friends at Lumen come in to help you. Here's how it works. You simply breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning, and you learn if your body is burning mostly fats or carbs. Then the companion app provides you with a personalized nutrition plan for the day based on your measurements. You can even take measurements before and after workouts and meals to understand exactly what's happening to your body in real time. It is your scouting report. You're not going to go play another team if you don't know what they run or how they operate or what they check to or what adjustments they make. You need to know how your body adjusts to what you're putting into it and what you're putting it through in workouts. So take the next step to improving your health. Go to lumen.me/booster to get 20% off your Lumen. That's lumen.me/booster for 20% off your purchase. Thank you, Lumen, for making everybody healthier and sponsoring this episode.
Does Bill Belichick belong in this list?
So
this is so tough, right?
I went back and forth on this one because he hasn't coached in a game yet. We haven't seen the product. It's a big gamble, but maybe that's what you had to pay him to get him to come there. So I'm fine with 8. It's not like you're at 3 or you're at 2 or you're at 1. You're sitting there at 8. So I'm gonna reserve judgment on that a little bit. But Flamin', I want to ask you about this one, dude. Mark Stoops at Kentucky. Now, it was a great story, how good they were on the line of scrimmage, a couple years ago, and it really kind of moved them up. And I know it's not easy to win at Kentucky, which is still a basketball school, but $9 million? I think Drink with $9 million at Missouri, earning it. Kentucky, though, $9 million? They don't do it this year. There may not be $9 million. It may be gone. He may be gone from Kentucky. He's getting $9 million? How do we feel about that?
What's success at Kentucky in football?
That's for $9 million.
That's the question.
Well, I think
Kentucky fans,
if you were paying him $4 million, okay, I think we could say that. But you gave him a taste of success, and you're getting $9 million. You're a top 10 paid coach in college football. That's not we won 6 games. What's Clark Lee making? God, if anybody should be getting $9 million to win 6, 7 games, it's that cat. So to me, I think the old, it's Kentucky, you can win 7 games and be a hero there. For $9 million, we're shelling that out. You better win more than 7, bud.
I mean, right now at Kentucky, 67-73.
So under 500.
Under 500. In 2018, led the Wildcats to 10-3. 2021 went 10-3. He won SEC Coach of the Year.
And then what happened?
I mean, you went 4-8.
And then what happened before that? The year before that? Like, this is not one bad
when
year.
is it? When do you call it quits?
For $9 million, you better at least get to 8 next year. Because it's not just that Kentucky's. It's been, they've caught a couple tough breaks. They've looked awful. The Brock Vandagriff experiment didn't work out. Seems like all the moves they made lately when they're making all the right moves 3-4 years ago. Seems like, man, it's Blue Steel's not working for you anymore. So for $9 million, to me, the old Kentucky adage, like I just said, I don't know if that floats anymore. Let me ask you this, Flamin', and then we'll get to the chat. Should Ryan Day be paid less than Kirby Smart? What do you think?
Yes.
You think
Who would you take right now? Because I know you're going to say Kirby.
Oh, I'm taking Kirby.
Why?
Oh, well, that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, no,
I think he's a better coach.
Yeah, I think Kirby's a better coach too. I think Ryan Day's a great coach.
I think
I think Ryan Day had a lot better roster.
But you got to give him credit for the roster, though.
But yeah, absolutely, you give him credit. But it's so crazy to see most of the people when it comes to Ryan Day, they think, why did it take so long? Why did it take so long for you to win a national championship with the rosters that you've had? Kirby's done it twice.
Yeah, and Georgia's going to be damn good again. I understand why Kirby Smart is the highest paid coach in college football. I'm just wondering now, maybe that Ryan Day has done it. It kind of reminds me, what is that movie it's The Waterboy? You remember when SCLSU finally wins that game and they go to that after party where Bobby brings the frog cakes and the coach is like, now that you've won one, you can kind of relax and we'll start winning more. The pressure's off. The monkey's off your back. Do you think that this kind of opens it up for Ryan Day to take a deep breath? Or is his pucker meter, to quote our friend Josh Payton, is it still going to be toy?
The last thing Ryan Day needs to do is take a deep breath. Have you met Ohio State fans?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
They're just as crazy as we are.
Oh, I know. It's perfect.
Just as crazy. There's a couple teams up there from a fan base standpoint that could come down here and fit into the SEC just from you're an insane person.
That's why I knew Texas and Oklahoma would fit in. Y'all are as nuts as we are. You walk into the mental insane asylum and look, You're rubbing peanut butter all over yourself and singing nursery rhymes. You fit right in with the
Gotta love Thursdays. Let me ask you this, though, because we brought up Mark Stoops. You see Mark Stoops, Lane Kiffin, and Drinkowitz.
Yeah.
Are you taking Lane and Drink over Mark Stoops?
Yes.
Are you taking Mario Cristobal over Mark Stoops?
Yes.
Are you taking Brent Venables over Mark Stoops?
God, man, yes.
Are you taking James Franklin over Mark Stoops?
Yes.
You taking Josh Heupel over Mark Stoops?
Yes. Are you?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, I'm reading off the top 20. Like, I wanted to see what was behind this.
Yeah. Credit to Mark Stoops. You're getting the bag. But
look, you're almost even at Kentucky.
It's the Stephen A. Smith thing who just got $100 million. I don't know how you're getting that money, but congrats to you on getting it.
It's crazy.
Hey, YouTube, appreciate you guys hopping on. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on so you know when Crane & Company goes to college or Locker Room Talk is dropping.